I really fucked it up.
Oh my
Hello.
God, Zach.
Oh, Jesus Christ, we really fucked it up. Oh God. Okay, sorry. I fucked up that transition, everybody. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Zach and Aakash show, episode 8C. Um, Today we're going to be talking about customer discovery. Thank you for joining in on this pretty British looking day, but you can't be mad. It's still a nice day out.
I don't know what the day looks like because I'm in my basement right now.
That's sad. What is it like being in the basement? Fuck. There it is. There it is.
Oh,
Okay.
you got.
Yeah, they caught on with me that I was fucking around with their service. And now they're gonna slap this on every 2 minutes because I haven't paid yet. But I can look over it. It's up to everyone. So
Yeah, this is,
I will have to buy the full version. I apologize for that.
maybe we could figure out another solution. There has to be some free software that does this properly.
Probably I could just put it on a new account. Um, there's not
Oh yeah,
much out there. There's only a few. There's another one that's $15. Um, fuck. It's a sad day. It's a
It's
sad day.
okay.
But the
We'll make
important
it through.
thing is the audio because yeah, YouTube's fun that you can see us, but when we start scaling and stuff like that, we're gonna have to move to Spotify and all of the other podcasting apps because that's just where people look for podcasts for most of the time. So
Yeah.
this is
I
more
mean,
just like a live thing for us to interact with people, but
yeah, I still want to keep some part of the live stream component, but maybe it won't be like a daily thing.
yeah, it's true.
Or
I don't know.
yeah,
I
I don't
like
know.
recording. I really like recording live and then
Yeah,
having it
me too.
unedited. Like we edit in real time. I like that. It's fun. Um, so last night, Akash and I had an experimental show called Late Night with Zach and Aakash. We started around 9:30, 10, and it
We're on until like 11:30.
yeah, it was very unfiltered. It was a late night show.
It was a lot for
uh,
sure. It was quite R-rated.
it was yeah, it was pretty R-rated. But we decided to keep that private for now while we decide what we're gonna do with it. The only reason we decided to do it was because we missed Friday's live stream, so we just had other things instead. So one of them was me doing business development, which we're gonna talk about some customer discovery today, and then we wanted to test out the late night show. People actually really enjoyed our late night show. I was talking to people this morning. Fuck. I feel like this is so annoying. I feel like someone's slapping me in the face with this. But yeah, people really seem to enjoy um oh my god. People really seem to enjoy that show. People stayed on for like the entire time, which is cool.
Yeah, yeah. It was definitely an entertaining show. I enjoyed making it a lot. It's just not something you could have in public though, based on some of the shit we were saying.
Yeah, we might try to I don't
Make it
know.
slightly more filtered. We'll figure it out. Or maybe we'll just keep it a live stream special for now. So if you catch us live, you can see it, and it will go away after.
True. Fucking shit. This is so annoying. Every 2 minutes, I'm gonna have to X this out and watch an ad. Fuck me.
Dude, looks like it's doing it more than every 2 minutes.
I don't know. Whatever. I mean, I could be even more cheeky, and I could move my body all the way to the right, where there's a little space where the trial isn't. At all. No, I'm not gonna do that. So today we're talking about
Okay.
customer discovery and
Yep,
our
that's a
experience with customer discovery. Oh, actually, real quick before we do that, in the link in the description, there is a form to sign up if you've been watching us live for the past week or so. Um, you can it really helps us if you fill out some of that information so we can do customer discovery. We'll get more into that. Also, we're now on Spotify. So if you guys click the Spotify link, you can listen to us whenever you want. It's not just live, and you don't have to go on YouTube
that's
for it.
right.
So
Not just 9 a.m. Only trade-off is you won't be able to interact with us like you can in the live episode, but you'll still be able to listen to us,
hell yeah.
brighten up your day.
Okay, so customer discovery. Well, let's start with the definition of what a business is. Um, Ultimately, a business will sell you a product. Well, a business has a product, and you either sell them your time or you sell them or you give them your money to get that product in return. At the core, that is a business. None of the extra like fluff and shit. I know we see like brands and stuff like that, but the bottom line, that is hard definition of a business. Right, Akash? Am I getting that right?
Sure.
Sure.
Where's that
Oh
going?
my fucking god. Um, well, that's just like the background information for people who want to, understand it. Thank you for
Yeah,
joining us, whoever just joined. Yeah, they got me bootlegging this fucking webcam
we
app.
got watermark issues today.
Yeah, I'll figure something out.
Yeah. Well, one thing I would say about that definition is maybe instead of time, attention is a
Sure,
better word.
sure. Attention. So right
Yeah.
now, this appears to be free, but if you are watching it, you are giving us your attention. Assuming you don't do what Brian does and mutes it, it goes in the other room, then it comes back and it's done.
He comes back though. That's
Yeah,
what matters.
that's what matters. Yeah. So Akash and I have officially we have reached our minimum viable product. We have what a podcast is, which is I guess we kind of have a niche. Our niche is us, Zach and Aakash. That is the niche, and we have a active podcast now, audio. It's easily accessible. So now it's on. I haven't checked Apple Podcasts because they take a long time to approve your stuff. We're on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. So now it's easily accessible. It's an hour long. It's us talking. We have okay mics. It's everything just minimum. If you think of it as like a skateboard in a car. So like if your goal of your product is to move from point A to point B, like to drive to like a grocery store or something, well you could start with a skateboard and then you could upgrade to a scooter and you could upgrade to a motorcycle, then a car, and then like yada yada yada. So we're trying to take it 1% better every time, but we're at that point where we have a minimum viable product, which is a skateboard. So now we're beginning talking about customer discovery, which is finding who might want to view this content on a daily basis and who do we actually provide value to. So there are some people who show up every day. Jesus fuck. There are people who show
Dude,
up.
that's so annoying.
I know. There are people who show up every day, and we're gonna see if they are our early adopters or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we're pretty much trying to figure out based on the people who do show up regularly, who are they? Why do they show up? Do they show up just because we're their friends? Do they show up because they truly enjoy what we're talking about? And pretty much that's going to give us insight into who is like them. You know, there's this rule where they say if there's one person who shares an opinion, there's 500 people that share it. So we want to find that 500 other people who share it and target them, send them the podcast, see if they like it,
Mhm.
see if we can bring them value. And also it'll help us adjust our own content, make minor tweaks to it. We're still going to keep genuine to our personality, but make tweaks to it that would give you, the audience, a lot more value.
Yep. So something I see a lot of people do is they tend to spend a lot of time developing the product. Um, oh, thank you, Chow. Show up because Zach cute. Thank you so much. Okay, so a lot of people would start a business, but they'll focus solely on specifically the product. So they'll they'll do all sorts of tweaks and stuff like that, all sorts of like extra business stuff, but they never actually think about who their customer is. And at the end of the day, if you're not if no one's using your product or no one you have no data to back up that people would use your product, then like you're wasting your time and you don't actually have a business. You might have a cool project, but it's not actually a business. So
Yeah. You just gotta hope for luck if you're not doing any customer discovery. Hope
mhm,
that people like it, because a lot of times you can think something's really cool that helps you out, but not many other people do, and you pretty much just end up wasting all that time working on, an app or something. Same, because that's exactly what Zach and I did. We
yep.
spent like hours working on one, and pretty much was useless, and all that time was wasted because
Mhm.
no one wanted it.
Also another key thing is, like I said, build your minimum viable product first. So you figure out what core thing you are trying or what core I don't know if you're solving a problem here, but like what core problem you have, and you build this, like You build this like minimum amount of things that will solve that problem. So right now, our we needed to create a podcast. So technically, the video is extra. Technically, that's extra. We don't actually need that. We don't even need OBS. We could have just recorded our stuff with our headphones and microphones just off camera with Audacity or something and uploaded it. Um, but there was a low barrier to entry to set up the live podcast stuff, and I think we've learned a lot more doing live podcasting. So yeah, we could have spent hundreds of dollars on really cool equipment. We could have spent hours editing each of these segments. We could have bought really cool cameras for this. We could have done all this extra shit, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because it's not
Yeah,
helping
like
you.
this might sound like an outrageous example, but a lot of people do shit like this, where they
Hmm.
just invest way too much right off the bat with no idea if what they're going to do is work or not.
Hmm.
And so I guess based on what we've been talking about customer discovery, we've more been talking it from a startup perspective. It's going to be slightly different with the podcast
Hmm.
because this isn't exactly a product. This is more something we started because we just wanted, time to talk, time to share our ideas. So it's going to be fun either way. Um, but we thought might as well apply some of our business mentality, that perspective, to see how much we could grow the podcast because it shares a lot of commonalities with a
Hmm.
startup or business.
Yeah, it's like a universal formula almost for starting anything. Even when we started YouTube, there was some formula to it. Jesus. But as you go through each of these experiences, you learn more and more. So, like, I guess YouTube taught me how to talk on camera. Um, this is a skill that's actually very hard to do. Um, but I've learned and I've developed my unique, I'd say, yeah, my own voice, I guess.
Mm.
Takes a bit to develop.
Yeah, YouTube also made me start thinking a lot about how to be not just talk to the camera, but also how to be a bit more animated, and
Yeah.
which is something I'm not doing at all right now because I'm groggy as hell.
That's part of the show, though.
But yeah, waking up is part of the show.
So,
But
yeah.
even if whatever, I guess a mini side thing is, even if whatever you're doing is complete failure, you do learn a lot from it.
Yeah.
YouTube isn't a closed book yet.
I agree.
So, but
I think that's why we're live streaming because, like, we're still doing YouTube.
yeah.
I still want to do some YouTube stuff. It's just I kind of burnt out a bit. Going too heavy on a video that really wasn't that important to me. So I was like, I really burnt out from that. I'll go back to it later, but I like streaming. It's pretty fun. Just yeah, treating it like a business. But yeah, you kind of it's weird. You look at a camera and you got to develop your true voice. There's a lot of people on YouTube who kind of pretend, and it's not their actual true self. But as you get comfortable with the camera, you develop that true sense of voice you have, stuff like that. So I think if you're to talk to me in real life, I'm a little. I think I'm more or less the same as I am now on stream than I am. Yeah, like even especially if you saw the late night show last night,
that
that is Zach
that
right there.
was everything. No filtering.
But also, why that's important is that is our niche is just being ourselves. So it's like, can you sell fucking shit? Can you sell yourself as a product? So that's why it's really important for us to be ourselves on camera. It's because that is our, at this point, our product, even though it's like low barrier, not much, like we're not going to go all in. We're not going to drop out of school for a podcast, but it's just fun. It's fun to like grow these things. And then if we choose to move on, at least we learned we can apply this somewhere else.
Yeah, guys, just work on a lot of projects. A lot of you are sitting there bored in quarantine, learn something new or work on something new. Like it's most likely not going to go anywhere, but you're going to learn a shit ton that'll make your next project, go just a little bit further. And the project after that, just a little bit further until finally, well, I haven't reached that point yet, until finally, hopefully, something manifests out of that.
True.
Even if not, you become a really cool person with a lot of cool experiences.
hmm And this is a good segue. Don't be afraid to fail because your failures will bring things into light that you fucked up on. So it's like you know how to do them. So for us, one thing we really messed up on was actually customer discovery. Um, and it's actually for us, it's a lot simpler now of an answer than it was back then. Like customer discovery back then was a lot of guesswork, but now we're like, okay, well, maybe it's not as difficult as we thought. Um, you just gotta go to market, see who's what or using your product, and then take that information and go find other people like them, and then give them your product. So it's like
Yeah.
it's less complicated than we used to think. So why don't we go over some
Well,
mistakes?
again, depending on what you're doing it for, right? Because sometimes you can't always build the MVP at first. And honestly, your first step for anything should be customer discovery.
Oh
Different
yeah,
with this
100%.
podcast because we just wanted to start it up
hmm
and it's very low barrier, low cost. But anything else you're building out, customer discovery should be your number one. Figuring out if people actually have the problem, figuring out exactly what the problem is, and seeing if people want a solution. And if they're not only if they want a solution, but if they're willing to give up something for the solution.
Yeah, and so now we got to think if you don't have a product right away. So I think that is a smart way to do it. Is like try to sell. This sounds weird, but try to sell a product before you have a product. So what that means is you're going to do a lot of interviews. You're going to ask a lot of questions, and you're going to do a lot of just focused questions around certain things. But this is where a lot of people make a mistake. You can't bias your questions. I've seen this so many times. You know, Akash and I have judged a lot of competitions, and we say, okay, what does your customer discovery look like? And they say, well, I asked a bunch of people, would you use this product? And then people would obviously say yes, and that doesn't mean anything because unless they actually
Yeah,
like gave you money to use your product or like started using it for free or whatever, then like it doesn't mean anything.
I guess people are really, really nice. Most people, at least, they don't want to hurt your feelings. So if you like go up to them, give us her, be like, "Well, I've been working on this thing. Would you use it?" They're gonna lie to you, and like they don't even control it. They're just gonna be nicer and sugarcoat it for you, just because they don't want to hurt your feelings. But
hmm
in the end, it's not helping you out much. You'd much rather want them to. So one thing I learned is instead of saying it's a product you're working on or project you're working on, say it's for a class and you're doing a case study and put it in that way. So that way they can be a bit more honest. And also with the questions, like Zach said, very easy to make the questions biased. Like even if you try really hard not to, you need to think about every single question can be interpreted.
hmm
Make sure there's no bias. Zach, you're frozen.
Yeah, you're frozen too. Can you repeat that? It kind of cut out. It's an attractive. Uh oh. Internet connection's unstable.
Oh, it's back now.
Okay, can you repeat that for everyone?
Which part?
Uh, Jesus, this one's a train wreck today. Go back like 2 minutes ago. Bias questions.
These are biased questions. All right, let me recap it real quick. Surveys, whenever you're giving them out to people, or especially if you're interviews, don't tell them it's a product you're working on. Tell them it's a product, it's some random product, or is for some case study for a class. Because people are really nice. If you tell them you're working on it, they're going to say it's good and they're going to use it just to not hurt your feelings. Like we actually saw this happen. We told people that it's like for a case study. They gave their honest, raw opinion. And then in the end, we kind of did like a reveal where we're like, this is actually our project. They instantly tried to go back on things they said. And they're like, oh, it's actually not that bad. And oh, and maybe I would use it. And no, once you do the reveal, all of that is bullshit.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. even with this, so imagine, like, I know this is a weird example. Like, imagine this with the podcast. Instead of giving you the audio to listen to, Akash and I called you up and we said, we just described our podcast to you. And then you said, oh, that sounds really cool. And then we're doing like a pitch to someone else. And we're like, yeah, people love our podcast. Like, what if, like, see how absurd that is? Just like, people love our podcast. We say that just because people said they like our idea of the podcast, but they didn't actually listen to it. So, like, a key thing is here,
Yeah.
a way we can see the metric is like how long have people stayed on. So I can see there's 5 people watching now, minus me and Akash. So that's 3 people currently still on with us. No one has really dropped off yet. I know that's a small number. We got to get our numbers up a little bit more to see really what's going on. It's still early, but it's important to do some real testing with your stuff.
Yeah. Analytics is key, but it's data driven, and that's
Yeah.
the way to go. Because right now, if we're gonna ask like 20 of our friends, if like we give them the idea of the podcast and then ask them what they think and if they'd watch it, like 17 out of the 20 would be like, yeah, that sounds really cool. I'd definitely tune in.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna go on the next day. What we're gonna see is it's only gonna be like 3 or 4 of them who
Yeah.
actually show up and actually take the time. And then the next day after that, it might only be 2 or 3 that come back
Mm-hmm.
based on whether they liked it or not. Because time is a huge investment, sometimes even more than money.
Yep. So one thing I do is I never beg for people to listen to our podcast. I simply give them the link and they need to make the decision themselves because then we can figure out like who they are. Like I'm not hurt if someone doesn't listen. It's just like here's the link, here's the title. It's a very clear title. So this one is a very businessy title. Our experience with customer discovery. That's a very businessy title. Um, Akash and I have a slight brand associated with us already with some people. So people already know our personality a little bit. So they might click because of that. So that's why I guess like descriptions are going to play a key part in what happens is some people know that we're into this kind of stuff. So they will click in because they already know our like personal brand already. So that's why they would click into it, right? But for other people, you got to see they click in. Do they continue to watch or do they just click off or something? So that's like important. We'll find them.
Yep.
We'll find who they are. That's the whole probably for the next month or so.
Yeah, even right now, now that I'm thinking about it, another good metric. A few times we asked people to share the link, but how many of them actually valued the content enough to share the link?
That's a good point. I was reading about that this morning. There are super fans who will share the link with their friends and stuff like that.
Right.
Who the super fans probably also so it's a subscription thing too for a lot of super fans. Super fans are more willing to give you their phone number and their email than like 98% of the viewers. Jesus. So we got to get there too. I know Brian, we've labeled you as partially a super fan because you show up a lot. So yeah, it's kind of a case study. Hold on, let me fix the light.
Yeah.
But again, I still think it's too early for us to be able to know what's going on until we start. So we're doing it like we're doing everything right in my opinion right now. So we're publishing pretty much every day at a consistent time, and we're sticking to our niche, which is what you and I are interested in. Yeah, there's like shit that breaks on camera and stuff like that, but I think we're still sticking to what we're
Yeah.
doing.
I think
Yeah.
we're doing a really good test version.
Mhm.
Obviously, a lot we can improve on, like Zach said, technical difficulties. And also, I noticed listening back to these podcasts, there are a lot of just empty pauses in the
Sure.
middle here and there. So, like, just working on us being present and conversational a lot, or where we're looking at in the camera, especially for me, because chat for me is on the side, so I keep looking to the side a lot.
Mhm.
I should be looking at the camera. But again, basic things like that, which we're going to get better at from doing it over and over again.
Another cool thing is we've been documenting the whole thing from start to finish, um, which is cool. So like you saw me doing the logo, you saw us trying to figure out OBS in the beginning. You saw us doing experimental shows, going on to Spotify, all that stuff. So it's a good it's good in the sense that it'll provide value even if we crash and burn. So it's like it's not terrible. We're doing everything correctly right now.
Or maybe we're just trying
Wow,
to
it's getting
convince
bright.
ourselves,
Do
guys.
you see how bright
Please
that
help.
is? I mean,
Please.
that's also true,
Please.
but we have learned in the past like what not to do. Um, so one, we're following Gary Vee's advice, which is document, don't create. Oh my God. So we're documenting everything, which is Gary Vee would give us brownie points for that. We're being consistent, 9 a.m. every day. We have a niche, which is you and me. Fortunately, you and I got practice with YouTube before we started. So we're ahead of the game right now. So we could just talk on
So I
camera.
will say with the just a little side note with the niche, if you look all over the internet everywhere, people are going to be like, if you're starting a business, an online business or your blog, YouTube channel, they're going to be like, find your niche, find your niche. And they're going to say it in a way where your niche is like this little, really tiny area that you're really interested in, you want to focus on. A niche for me could be like, oh, I'm really into Batman. So maybe I should be selling Batman merch, maybe making YouTube videos about Batman. Oh, wait, there's already too many videos on Batman. That's too broad a niche. Maybe I just make videos on Batman versus the Joker, only events regarding Batman versus Joker. They want you to keep getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
But Gary Vee has an interesting alternative perspective where your niche is just you. You are more me. I'm more than just my love for Batman. I like business dev. I like playing Minecraft. I like eating different foods. I like drinking different beers. So there's a lot more that I could talk about. And it's more about making your personality your niche and making your personality your niche rather than some small obscure thing, which is hard to gather interest for.
hmm So one of the ways I look at it too is, Kosh and I have friends. People like to talk to us, whatever. If people like to talk to us there, then you could scale it up, and people will still like our personality if we're still ourselves. That's my premise that I use to look at that style of niche as well. Um, yeah, that's another Zach premise.
Does that
Nice.
Zach premise?
Censored by the trial.
Yeah.
Fucking shit.
We'll figure that out.
Also, if you're joining in now, we have a survey at the bottom. It helps us if you fill it out just to give us some baseline information. Nothing too crazy. Probably the only biased question is the satisfaction question, 1 through 5. Just because a lot of you know us, so we'll decide what we want to do with that. Also, we're on Spotify now, so if you click Spotify link under that link, you can follow us on Spotify and you can listen to us on your own time, on the treadmill, for a walk, in bed. I don't know. I'm trying.
So, guys, use our voices any way you want to use them.
And now a word
Be
from our
100%.
sponsor, Ulta Lotion.
They don't actually sponsor
They
us.
don't.
So throwing it out there. But Alta, if any of you are watching it, you could be.
That's
You
true.
could be sponsoring us.
Okay, so we talked about customer discovery. Would you say that was one of our
All right.
biggest failures with our past startup?
What? Say that again?
Would
Broke
you
up a
say
little bit.
that customer discovery was probably our biggest failure on our past startup, or one of the biggest
Yeah.
failures?
Past startups for me. Um, two of the startups I worked on, both social media related apps. We did like pretty much no customer discovery. We pretty much came up with an idea that we thought was really cool. We thought it would be like great that everyone's going to use it, and we went through a couple of these pitch competitions at UConn to gain money, and we got money in the competitions too because all they really look for is a pretty presentation, something that makes sense, and that pretty much inflated our egos quite a bit, and we thought our ideas were amazing, and we didn't bother testing it at all, doing any customer research. And then we developed it, spend hours and hours developing it, put something out there. And in the end, we realized that we put something out there even we didn't want to use. Like, even we didn't think about using it. So Follow was an app where you could share all your like, social media through one app. So let me explain that. Right now, if you want to add someone new you met on Facebook, on Instagram, on Snapchat, you have to get their usernames one by one. Things like Snapchat have their Snap code, and they're all bringing out their separate codes, but you still have to add them 3, 4 separate times. We thought it'd be cool if you could put all your social media and other contact information in one profile, and all you have to do is share one QR code, and you can automatically add them on all the other apps. In the beginning, with the press of a button, but we wanted to get it to a point where you just scan the QR code and instantly just adds you on all the apps. Which, from listening to it, a lot of people thought would sound cool. They thought they would use it, but in actuality, when I say met someone at the bar and I wanted to add them, it maybe I didn't actually want to add them on all these different applications. I just wanted to add them on one. And to add them on that one application, I didn't even think to use Follow. I just instantly, through habit, pulled out that application and added them on it. And the next morning, I'm like, wow, even I didn't want to use my app. Even I didn't think to use it. Why are we doing this? Why are we spending so much time on this?
It's true. It's kind of it's kind of a turn off. You know, you go to a bar, you're like, you hit it off with someone, and then you want to send them. You're like, oh, let me use this cool new app, and they're like, ugh. Oh, wait, wasn't it
Yeah,
Caleb?
that's like a lot of work. That's what Caleb
Dude,
did.
Caleb tried to use it on some girl,
Yeah,
and she was like, he was like, yeah, look at this app, and then she was like, oh, I love Spotify or something like that. Just trying to like,
Okay, Caleb was our
uh,
business dev
oh,
partner.
dude, we gotta bring Caleb on the show. Fuck yeah,
Yeah, man. I haven't talked to Caleb in a long time.
we gotta start. Yeah, next week we're gonna get. Yeah, next week we're gonna get a guest on the show. At least a trial guest. We had Brian, but that's like a different. That was a late night guest where you dial
Yeah,
in.
late night. So what we were doing with that is we were just calling up people on Discord, just having a rotating set of people come in and talking. But this one is more going to be like a show dedicated to the guest and whatever they want to say, topic they're interested in, and we could take the whole show talking with them.
It's also good because they'll bring in their friends. They'll be like, "Hey, friends, look at the show I was on," and the friends will get to look at the show. So it's good for everybody. You know, it's fun for them, fun for us, fun for the business.
Yeah, especially at a point which is far away, or if we are seeing some growth, then anyone who would want to be a guest, they get added value from it because they get more exposure. They can plug anything that they're working on, and
Hmm.
which yeah, it's what a lot of podcasts do. They bring on guests, and those guests bring the podcast attention, and then in turn the guests also get attentions from other viewers from the podcast. So a nice trade off, and hopefully they both have a good conversation,
So,
provide audience value too.
so Akash, are you trying to build up your, I'd say, brand almost with YouTube? I know it's all okay. So it has like a bunch of components. Like it's obviously for fun. Like this is fun for us. I enjoy talking. But it's also partially to help build up my personal brand, which in this day and age, having an audience and a brand is just as important as having like monetary assets because having an audience is power, as well.
Yeah, attention is the new currency.
Yeah.
Yeah, good question. So I was thinking about that. For me, I think I want to settle down on what my personal brand truly is.
Hmm.
So instead of using this to set up a personal brand right now or my YouTube channel, I'm almost using it to experiment, figure out what my personal brand could be.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Once I figure that out, then maybe I could go all into it and make that my thing. But we'll see. And also, like you said, it's fun right now.
Yeah. So I'm kind of using it. I still follow my philosophy that my brand is Zach. Like, I know people who walk around, they're like, "Oh, what are you studying?" And they label you with your major and stuff like that. Or like they're like, "Wow, you're a fucking
Oh,
Jesus, you did a Zach."
I did the same.
They're like, "Oh, you're a blogger now or whatever." And I'm like, "No,
I'm gonna move.
I'm fucking Zach. That is my brand." And I'm just gonna write about stuff. So my blogging process starts Monday. Um, or actually, it pretty much starts today. But it starts today, and then I'm gonna upload a blog every Friday. I'm pretty sure. So I'm gonna keep doing that. Just writing about things I care about, like we're doing here. You and I only really talk about things we care about. Um, we've never force fed an idea on ourselves. I don't think.
No, I don't think so. Because if we do, I realize if we do like go towards something like both of us aren't like too interested in, we like naturally stray away from it,
Yeah.
and that's good.
I started doing that with YouTube as well. I was like, all right, I need to get fucking subscribers and shit like that. What's gonna get subscribers? So I pretty much was trying to copy videos like Nathan Drew, Matt Diavella, and I fucking hated it so much. And that helped with the burnout. That caused part of a burnout. Like trying to do 6 tips
Yeah,
to get an internship or something. Oof. Although it's helpful information, it was like, oh god, this is like I was trying to be all flashy with the editing and stuff and the music, and no, that's not
yeah, that's what
Zach.
got to me. The music and flashy editing, or more than flashy editing. I like color grading my editing and stuff, but it was B-roll that got to me. I'm like, oh, these people have really cool B-roll. I got to make it interesting, put some sick B-roll in, or else it's just going to be me talking. And then I just filmed a bunch of random footage. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to edit any of this. I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm
Hmm.
like way too ahead of myself.
Yeah, but sometimes there's an interview with Gary Vee. He said sometimes you know, you gotta walk the walk to wake up, as we did
Yeah,
many times in our lives. We have walked many paths, fallen on our faces, but you get up and it all makes sense later.
yeah.
A lot of paths.
We're gonna walk a lot more, and fall a lot more.
Of course. I guarantee you I'll look back in a year and be like, this kid talking right now is a fucking asshole or something. I've done that.
Yeah, dude.
We have a
Yeah,
video of us talking about right after we killed our startup. This video of us talking, and I watched it. I'm like, that kid's an asshole.
dude. Maybe we can make a reaction video to that.
Oh God, it's gonna drive me fucking crazy. I mean, I share the same ideas he did. I always say he like it's someone else, but yeah.
Yeah. But well, yeah, maybe, or at least we're gonna release that video because we were gonna release it like a year ago, and then I just became lazy and didn't want to edit it.
Yeah,
But maybe I'll release it now.
I think a good segment would be if we went over the lore for a live stream or something. I don't think it would be a I don't really think it would be like a podcast, but like we live stream us just going through the events that happened, um, and then have like a document with like a timeline. It'd be
Yeah,
helpful. One, because I need to do that anyway for writing purposes, but it's just a good record to have. So if you guys are confused on the lore, you can go and look in that.
yeah. We Zach brought up like this fun concept of whenever we were working on the startup, he'd call it the lore.
Hell yeah.
Like it was our personal backstories and lores and how it intertwined. How like Zach and I decided to work on the startup. What happened before that? We call that pre-lore. Events that led up to the startup. And then once the follow crashed and burned, everything after is post lore.
The post lore, the age of
But the
depression.
post lore is also kind of like current lore. Yeah, yeah. There's an age of depression. It's like a cool backstory type concept.
I think it's very
It's just like
important.
fun to think about.
I think the post lore is actually really important, um, almost more than the lore itself. When we're
Yeah,
doing
I
it,
guess the post lore is more like,
it's a
I
reflection.
guess it's a present lore. It's pretty
Yeah.
much the present lore still. But yeah,
So we
yeah. I
had,
think that the age of depression is key.
yes, we have like lore. See, we gotta fucking do this. We have lore, and then after lore is like the depression era. And we have lore, and then like our internship era, which is small, and then we have the depression era, and then we have post lore, which is like present.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. This is post lore. You guys are part of post lore.
hmm I will, when I start writing, I will be covering lore and part of post lore. If that makes sense. Mostly lore.
Any pre lore?
Oh yeah, yeah. Maybe like the first chapter would be like pre-lore or something like that. Honestly, I just want to write a book to like have it on my shelf and it just says my last name on the cover. Like I don't even fucking give a shit. I just want to have a book. So when someone comes over, they're like, "Did you write that?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I wrote a book. It's a bestseller among my 5 subscribers."
Yeah, dude, make it an ebook and have people join your mailing list so you can sell them the ebook.
Join my mailing list where I teach you how to be a man, how to get the girls you want, how to get the John Sonmez.
Yeah. How to develop the physique you want.
How to develop the physique you want, how to get financial independence.
And how to become the man you want to be.
Yeah. I hope I got to talk to Alex if he'll. The logos is like all of our shit at this point, though. There was no contract. Like we can all use the stuff, right?
What?
So like, remember how
Oh,
we had
everything
Alex
on the.
to, like everything's like a collective. We can all just use, right? The logos, the pictures.
Yeah.
The code, like you can, but that shit's broken. I'm at this point probably.
Yeah, we still need to clean that shit up. As in, not the code, but like get it off the internet. Make sure
I
it's
thought it's
completely off.
off.
It's still on Google Play, or I guess that's my end. But there's
iTunes,
just
they
like a
just,
lot of ghost accounts running ghost services right now.
I mean, Apple just kind of took ours off because I specifically made it so they couldn't charge us. I like as soon as we paid for it, I took the credit card off. So like if I forget, which I did, thank you, past Zach, thank you. It would just automatically just get rid of it for us.
All right. Anyway, back on topic. How do we approach customer discovery for this? Because the one method we talked about is the surveys I created. We could send that out to you guys. But what about when we want to focus more on growth? The survey is going to help us, but what are other tactics we could use?
So first off, we gotta get our baseline um, stuff that's gonna help with everything. Stuff we have to do, like a good route for everything. So one, we gotta post pretty much daily. Like we can miss one or two, and it's probably fine. But we gotta post daily. We gotta really describe what our podcast is about in the description. Um, shit. I was reading about this morning in bed, like rolled over. I'm like, how do you get more people to listen to your podcast? So you gotta have all that. So we've set up pretty much everything. We just gotta start like clearly describing it. Then I think guess will be a key part. Just like maybe that might be just like a way of reach though.
I think guests will just be interesting to change things up, or else it's just going to be us talking again and again. which is all fine and dandy, but I think guests will be a nice way to spice it up,
Yeah, but is
be a
that
nice change.
that's not that'd be considered reach though, not customer discovery, right?
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it brings people in. Like we're still there, but it brings people in because we associate ourselves with that person.
So one thing I would say is, so far, like we said, Zach and I are the brand, all the niche. We are the niche, and we want to keep it like that. But because we defined it that way, we've been pretty free flowing, and we've just been talking about random things, which is also fine. But I think we need to define an overarching vision of
Hmm.
where we want this to go, like a solid, well-defined vision, which will help us with figuring out which type of customers we are looking for, and also it'll give us better guidelines on topics to do and where this is going to take us. you know we want an pointed arrow instead of just multiple just randomly spewing out.
So essentially, I think we're trying to find 100 Zach and Akashas out there, people who are our personality, or
Yeah,
not like a
or and
hundred, but
like a
like,
hundred Zach and Akash friends. Yeah.
or like maybe not 100. Well, like it's whatever number we want. We could have 10
Yeah.
if we want that, but that's really setting the bar low.
And the thing is, that's quite a Zach and Akash type person. Like we kind of have an idea of who that person is. Person like that's interested in entrepreneurship, a person that's like easygoing, maybe like a computer science type person, but also a more, I guess, social computer science type person, because there's that like, stereotype involved there. Um, Someone that's just interested in new experiences and exploring and growing themselves primarily. People interested in self improvement and self betterment.
Also, I think just based on who's been in chat and stuff like this, it's a very male dominated show. So specifically, it's mostly men watching. We've had a couple women, but mostly like 80% men. So we could fall
Yeah.
into the, the John Sonmez niche, like that profile. Um,
But what I would say though, I have sent this to more men than women.
okay, so it's more of a sampling error. Okay.
It could, yeah, because uh, again, we're not even close to big enough where we can
Yeah.
completely use the current audience to judge our. But again, I think things like that will be a lot more clear once we define a vision on. Yes, we're Zach and Akash, but
Who is Zach
exactly
and Aakash?
who is Zach and Akash? Who are Zach and yeah? Who are
Lots of
hey,
simps.
lots of Sims, only Sims, simp only.
Hell no, dude. If our audience is only simps, I'm done. I'm not gonna do this shit. I want like cool people to be our audience, you know?
Dude, the word simp exploded quite a bit recently.
Yeah, in Call of Duty, everyone's clan tag is fucking simp. I always play with a simp.
Really?
Yeah, everyone's always simp. It's like a different spelling of simp. Simp with a capital I, simp with a lowercase I, simp with a capital S.
Dude, like majority of the memes comments are simp.
Mm.
It's like it's funny. I don't know. I like the word. Maybe my inner simp is calling out.
Wait, what even is a simp, to be honest? Is that just like a. I want the
It's just
full.
like a cuck, dude.
Oh, okay. So the rebranding, my fucking word. No, I'm just kidding. A man that puts himself in a submissive position under women in hopes of. Oh, yeah, dude, this is cuck theory. Cuck theory. I came up with cuck theory that men were becoming simps, and I was right in fucking high school. I was like, wow, everyone's becoming.
Nice.
I was like, why is everyone being weird around women all the time? Just fucking like trying to
Well,
please
that was
them.
also
It's weird as shit.
high school and
That's
people
true.
learning. But yeah. So like a simp is just the person who it's like the nice guy.
A man
who
that
just like,
prides himself with chivalry in hopes of getting
yeah,
sexual. Okay, yeah, that is fucking cuck theory.
yeah, it's just, be nice to them and hoping they'd help you out,
Oh,
give you affection in return.
we got a new person who filled out the survey.
Uh,
They gave their phone number. Cool. Someone filled out the survey.
that was really, really, they gave their phone number.
I don't know. It's cool, man, when someone gives us their phone number. Okay, so clearly you and
I
I.
want Jigger Moo to fill out the survey.
I don't know who
No,
that
no
was.
one's gonna get Jigger Moo.
That kid
Only
was
the late night
that kid was
people
funny
get it.
last night. Oh my god,
I love Jigger Moo.
he didn't even say anything. He just like posted, and then Brian made a joke about it, and it was really funny. That was a good moment.
Jigger Moo's famous now.
I do like having a serious talk like this, and just like stupid shit like last night.
Yeah,
I personally like that.
and yeah, because again, that's who we are. You know,
Yeah.
we like our business dev. We like self improvement, serious shit like that. But then we also like to. Well, I like to. You're not 21 yet, obviously.
I know I've never
So,
touched
like
alcohol
to.
before.
Yeah, I as Zach joins me with the soda, I like to grab a nice beer and we like to,
Hmm.
just shoot the shit and have a good time.
Yeah.
So you know, I think we need to cover all aspects of our personality and give it to you guys that keep it most authentic.
Yeah, we don't live life with a stick up our ass, if that makes any sense. We have our professional side, and then we have our not so professional side, but at the same time, we understand we can make that professional by turning it into a show.
Yeah, apparently Zach thinks that a lot of people think he has a stick up his ass.
No, fuck, I'm not
That
getting
he's
into this
super
shit.
serious.
I mean, okay, yeah,
We were talking about this last
I've been
night
on
in the
so
late night
many
show.
been so many dates. People are like, "Wow, you got your shit together. You're so serious. Oh my god, you're like really put together. I like being around you because you give me security." I'm like, "Do you fucking know who I am? Do you actually know who I am?"
Hey, come on, you guys gotta listen to Zach like talk. Like when you randomly watch Zach talking for like 5 minutes, you're gonna lose your brain cells.
That's the good thing. Yeah, I can talk very educated, and then I can be a complete like shithead. Makes no sense. That's like just turn it off. So I think okay, so back on like customer discovery. So you and I know what customer discovery means. We know this is like connecting to math. I'm not going to go there, but you and I know what it means to have customer discovery, and so now we need to figure out what does customer discovery look like. Jesus Christ, we know what does customer discovery look like in terms of a podcast. So how do we do that? Is something you and I will have to look at probably this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We should start customer discovery like as soon as possible, like today.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
We're far enough
As
along.
much as this is for fun, having growth would be really cool too,
Yeah.
and it'll make it more fun.
Personally, I would
Yeah,
love growth. I don't know how sustainable I could last in a corporate environment, but it'd be nice to be able to fucking get out of that shit and do this all day. Be fun.
yeah, man, for sure, for sure. Um, yeah, again, we have experience with customer discovery in a startup sense, so there will be a lot of new learning we have to do. And even in the startup sense, we know a lot of what not to do,
Hmm.
but we still need to zone in on what to do. We know some things here and there, but we got to get a clear picture of that. Do it because we still haven't done it completely right yet.
Yep. But we know enough where we can. Jesus, I got gas, Akash. We know enough where we can execute, I guess, comfortably, like confidently. We can be like, okay, That's a biased question. That's not going to help us.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Look at this piece of data. It indicates that people like our shit.
Yep. Yep.
I started using
So
Tinder as a way to get podcast attention.
have you just been spamming it on
Okay, well, I put it in my I put the channel in in the description. You know, I've gotten more matches ever since I put that in the fucking, or not matches, likes. That's different. I got more likes ever since I put it in the fucking profile.
Gotcha.
Oh
But
god.
did you put that at the same time as the Pong video though?
Um, I don't know. Actually, I put the YouTube channel later. I think the Pong video was. Actually, no, it might have been at this. It was at the same time, I think.
So
Yeah.
it's one of those two.
Yeah, I had to show I'm not a fucking loser. If you want to learn about, you know, how to use Tinder, buy my course.
You're
Buy my course. Okay.
buy the ebook.
Buy the ebook.
Yeah. With the full course, you get a free ebook. You get 3 free bonus lessons. You know, it's a $500 value that we're giving to you for $100. That's how you know it's worth.
Yeah, and you better buy it quickly because we're running out. Because that's how it works. You run out of data, or you
Yeah,
run
guys,
out.
if you buy it in the next 2 days, you're gonna get 50% off. You only have to pay $49.99. Act fast because that deal's going away. We only want to sell to people who take initiative, people who want to grab their dating life by the balls.
Yeah. Whoa. And that
Oh
was
my
the
God.
comedy segment of the day. I like how tame this is compared to last night, though.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
We got 6 viewers now. Okay. You know, we're not doing
Cool.
terrible.
Cool.
We're not doing terrible.
Chat. Be chatty. We call you chat for a reason.
Yeah, this is a fucking weak chat today. What the fuck? I want you to
Yeah,
call me out. Call me the fuck out so I can defend myself. Tell me. Call me a simp. On chat.
And watch him break down.
Ah.
Imagine one of these where one of us just breaks down, or maybe we both break down and just start crying in podcast.
It'd be a great podcast.
Dude, I feel like that has some virality attached to it. We could become memes.
Would you want to be that meme though, known as the kid who cried when someone called him a simp?
You know.
Oh, dude, Brian just called me a simp. You got me. That really hurts. I feel like a simp now.
No, Brian. We're a simp to chat. We're simps to chat.
You know, I just don't wanna offend chat. You know, I think you're just really special. I just don't. That's how a simp acts, right? Just don't wanna rock the boat. You know. I just don't.
It's like you don't have to try too hard to act like one. Just be normal.
Fuck you. You know. Fuck you.
Chow, no. Why? I'm so nice to you, Chow.
Chow, fill out our survey. I've seen you more than once watching this. Give us a 1 on the rating scale. Tell us it's shit if you fucking hate this.
Only if you really feel
write
that
in your
way,
suggestions.
Tell us
really
how you
want.
feel.
Fuck you. No, yeah, actually, yeah. Take the thing seriously.
If you think it's a 1, then put a 1. Like we don't care. I know it's not gonna change your wanting to be nice, no matter how much we say we don't care, but we want you to be honest.
Don't be a simp to our survey.
Yeah, exactly.
We like teach at Columbia Business School. Don't let your people be simps.
Dude, Chow already filled it out.
Oh.
Congrats, Chow. You are officially not a simp because
Oh,
you
I
filled
didn't. Oh,
out that
I
survey.
didn't read the first name. I just read mail direct message from either a Zach or Kosh.
Hey guys, if you don't want to be a simp, fill out the survey. That's how you prove your non-simpness.
Yeah. Ouch. All right, you call me a scrub. Okay. Um, I think that's a good stopping point. Oh, the trial thing's back. Nice. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to buy or figure out a new way to get a camera because they got me.
Yeah.
They got me. They finally got me.
Yeah. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something about customer discovery. Yeah, hope it was insightful. It was definitely a good recap for me, just visiting our old thoughts back and relearning, I guess, about customer discovery. I guess rejuvenating my thoughts on it. That's not the right word.
Yeah.
But anyway, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for joining us, as always.
Hmm.
Zach, any words?
Yep. Remember, of course, thank you for joining us on this beautiful 9 a.m. show where you can listen to our very seductive radio voices. Um,
Ooh,
what would help us
this
is
ain't the late night show, right?
if you know someone who's interested in customer discovery or just what we have to talk about, feel free to share this podcast with them. I would recommend sharing the Spotify link instead because, yeah, I mean, actually, do whatever the fuck you want, to be honest. But if you could share it with
Yeah,
someone,
whatever's easy for you.
yeah, um, yeah. Thank you for joining us
And also, if
tomorrow.
you are listening to us instead of watching us and you do want to tune in on one of these 9 a.m. live streams, check out the Zach Zambuto YouTube channel, ZACH ZAMBUTO. Search that up on YouTube and you should find the Zach and Aakash show. Or just Google it. Google the Zach and Aakash show. You should find it.
Or click the Spotify link because right after this, I'm gonna put it in there.
Well, this is for people listening on Spotify, so they're already on the Spotify.
No, yeah, but I could. Whatever. Fuck it. Just
Yeah.
honestly though, we can't convince you to do anything. Do whatever the fuck you want. It's your life.
Yeah,
But I'm
that's right.
glad I could.
But
Jesus. I'm glad I could
remember,
share this hour with y'all.
yeah,
Be there.
guys, and just if you don't want to be a simp, then listen to us every day at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
That's how you escape your simp title.
Yeah. If you want to be a man,
Or
watch
if you
this
do,
show.
no, I'm kidding. But thank you, and we will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m.
What are we talking about tomorrow?
Oh,
We
right,
gotta
we need
tease
a quick
them.
topic.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Tomorrow we'll do like a different topic. No, maybe we were doing tech on Sundays, right? Or no, we were doing tech on Mondays.
Tech Monday,
Tomorrow,
Simp Sunday.
I don't know. We'll do another random topic like food or music or something like that. Something random.
Okay.
We'll keep it a surprise. Mainly because we haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, it's gonna be a cool topic, so show up. We already planned it,
Yeah.
isn't it? All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you all for watching.
Bye.
I'm muting us